Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. Thanks for joining me again. It's day 79 of Take a Journey with Me. Today I'm going to speak about Hagar, and of course you can't speak about Hagar without speaking about Sarah, or Sarai that later becomes Sarah, and Abram, which becomes Abraham. Have you ever felt used for another's needs, but when they were done with you, they left you out to dry? Maybe you were complicit and you knew it was wrong. However, you very well may have felt trapped and you had to give in to whatever they wanted from you. You could have been with someone who had hold over you, whatever that hold may have been, and it seemed as though you had no choice, but then you were both ashamed and you were bitter. Nonetheless, you knew you were taken advantage of. When I think of Hagar, I am saddened for her as a servant girl. I am sure she felt pushed into a corner with no option. She got the blunt end between Sarah and Abraham. And Sarah, so desperately wanting a child, she would resort to absolutely anything at that point. And resorting to anything is just what Sarah did. Being a maidservant quite probably had left Hagar feeling as living a life with no option for any control of her own life. But this, Sarah putting Hagar in the position of having a child for Abraham, and then Sarah wanting Hagar to leave out of jealousy. Hagar had nowhere to go. She was lost. However, she was no longer only concerned for herself, but now also her son, who she never asked, for she never asked for him, but loved as he was the rescue for the overall situation that she was in. There's multiple accounts of Hagar in the Bible. Most all were in Genesis chapter 16, 17, 21, 24, and 25, as well Galatians 4. What I'm going to read right now is chapter 16. It's not that long. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, but she had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. So she said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her." Abram agreed to what Sarai had said. So Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years. Sarai, his wife, took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress, Sarai. When she knew, then Sarai said to Abram, "You are responsible for the wrong that I'm suffering. I put my slave in your arms, and now she knows she is pregnant, and she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. Your slave is in your hands." Abram said, "Do with her whatever you think is best." Then Sarai mistreated Hagar, so Hagar, fled from Sarah. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that is beside the road to Shur. And he said, "Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?" "I'm running away from my mistress Sarai," she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her." The angel added, "I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live in hostility toward all his brothers." She gave this name to the Lord. He spoke to her, "You are God who sees me." For she said, "I have now seen the one who sees me." That is why the well was called Lahai Roy. It is still there between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son that she had born. Abram was 68 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. Thanks be to God. Please also read the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verses 21 to 31, regarding Hagar and Sarah and Abraham. This account makes me even more sad for Hagar. This passage speaks of the difference of the child being born of the flesh, Hagar's son, and that of a child born of divine promise, Sarah's son, which she did later have. Hagar had to experience many levels of pain and rejection and confusion. Though she did what she was told, she was treated as she did the wrong. After all, which Hagar went through, she was blessed with a son who God told her would be the father of 12 tribes. The good that came out of the feeling of being trapped and confused. Have you ever felt trapped and confused, left wondering if there is a reason for the suffering that you're going through? Look to Hagar and know that she was seen by God, and he blessed her despite how she became pregnant, the way of which she became pregnant. We cannot give up, never stop crying out to God for understanding and rescuing us of our situations. Those we put in ourselves in, and those we are put in without feeling we have a choice in the matter. Do not run from God in these situations. Instead, run even faster towards Him. He's the only answer to our cries. We all long to be seen, and the great artist, creator of our world, God, indeed sees us and our pains. Let God bring about beauty from all the ugly. Run to God, my sisters and brothers. Run, run, run. I hope this has touched you. It was really enlightening for me and touching for me to read more about Hagar and Sarah, and Abraham. Just there's always good about every situation, and when you give it to God, He's going to bring out the beauty of it and make it better. But you have to give it to Him first. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love you. God bless. Bye-bye.